You're seeing videos all over YouTube about making money using side hustles with AI. These range from making t-shirts to coffee cup designs on Etsy, designing stickers and wedding invitations, planners, bookmarks, you name it, they've got it. But there's one side hustle that's seemingly missing from this list, and in my opinion is quite fun. And in this video, I'm going to reveal that to you. So without further ado, let's get started. Hey guys, Joseph here. Welcome back to my channel. And let me tell you, I am so excited to talk about this because it's something I never thought would be possible in my lifetime. So when I was just a kid, I had dreams and imaginations that would just sometimes throw me into an awkward state of mind where I didn't really talk to anyone, I didn't care to, and quite frankly, I wanted to get away from everything just by escaping into my own universe. So yeah, I was kind of one of those kids. Awkward. So finally, I decided to take all of those ideas and all those imaginations and ink it down on paper. So that's what I did. And as I started to write, the minutes went by, the hours went by, the days went by, the weeks went by, and I realized that when I took all of these ideas and I put them down on paper, it was much harder than what I thought. But I kept writing, and by the time I was done, I looked at my first book, printed a limited number of copies on my family printer, and then I never really wanted to open it again. Years later, I decided to revisit it. I took it over to a college class. I had people proofread it. I had college professors look at it. I had teachers look at it. I tried to have them edit it. And there was just so much proofing that had to be done that was just really overwhelming. So I shelved everything in despair and forgot about it. That is, till now. See, almost a year ago in November 2022, ChatGPT came out. And I'm sure you've heard of ChatGPT. It's been all over the news, it's been all over YouTube, all over Google. Everybody's been trying to figure out how it works. And I heard about it from time to time, but it wasn't until I really started looking into it that I realized the power of it. So something I was able to do with ChatGPT is I was able to ask it questions about my storybook after I uploaded it into it. So it knew my storyline, it knew what the plot was, who the characters were, and then I was able to bounce ideas off of it back and forth and just kind of figure out, hey, is this something that would work for my book, or is this something that maybe would be inconsistent with this character, and so forth. So that was just so mind-blowing to me. So hey, just wait, it actually gets way better than this. The majority of the magic comes from another app called SudoWrite. So I don't know if you guys have heard of SudoWrite, but it is one of the best apps I've ever come across for writing a novel or a story or even a short story. And I tell you, it has got some power in that app. So SudoWrite has a story engine, and in the story engine, they have a bunch of different segments that you can actually put data into, and then it will read that data, it'll analyze it, and then it'll actually write the next section and so forth. I'm gonna walk through a little bit of this, but I would really love to go into detail if you guys are interested in another video. So please let me know if that's something you guys are interested in the comments below. Now you can actually use ChatGPT in addition to this to bounce ideas off because SudoWrite charges by the word, and ChatGPT is, as you know, free. Unless you get the 4.0, and then it'll actually cost a little bit of something. But the nice thing about SudoWrite is the first 4,000 words is free. So as you've probably already assumed, it's probably better to use ChatGPT and then drag a lot of that information into SudoWrite and then let SudoWrite do as minimal of work that it needs to so that you don't keep getting charged for words. So first you'll jump into ChatGPT, you'll brainstorm with ChatGPT, ask it about ideas, and here, I'll give you guys a couple prompts. You can actually use this prompt in front of you and put that into ChatGPT, ask the AI for any thoughts, and it'll take those thoughts and it'll help you brainstorm for ideas. Now after you're done with that, you're going to take all that data from ChatGPT, you're going to copy it back into the brain dump of SudoWrite. Now under the brain dump of SudoWrite, you're going to see a couple other sections. One of them is genre and the other one is style. Now in the genre, you're gonna put like whatever genre it is of the story that you're writing, right? So it could be like science fiction or whatever. And then in the style, you can put in like, is it romantic? Are you putting natural prose? Are you putting like a flowery prose? Now SudoWrite can actually create a synopsis based on that brain dump. However, to save on words, you're going to want to go into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to do the same thing to write a synopsis based on that brain dump. So you copy that brain dump into ChatGPT, you ask ChatGPT to create a synopsis based on that brain dump. Now you want to go through it and modify it and bounce ideas off of ChatGPT. If you feel like you wanted to change the story up, if you want certain elements in there that the chat didn't put in there, or if you wanted to modify some of the things that the chat suggested or recommended, then do that and tell the chat that you're going to do that, and then it'll modify the story for you. And then if you're wondering if you're kind of having a brain fart, just ask the ChatGPT, what's 5 really good endings for this story? Then once you're done, take that and copy it and put it back into SudoWrite. in the synopsis section. Now you can do the same thing with the characters and with the full outline, but in order to do so, remember that SudoWrite actually has a certain type of format that it has to fit. And so in ChatGPT, you will have to go in there and ask the ChatGPT to put it in that format. Now, if you don't really know how to do that, or if it's not really working out for you, then you'll have to go back into SudoWrite and you'll have to modify that format to make it fit what SudoWrite needs. Now, once you have that completed, you'll want to go back into ChatGPT. Keep in mind that ChatGPT already knows your story. So based on that synopsis and outline, you're going to start asking ChatGPT to come up with some beats that you can actually copy and then again, paste into SudoWrite. So then comes the really fun part in the SudoWrite. After you have the beats done, after the outline is done, now you can go into the prose section. And in the prose section, you can actually start beginning your first chapter. Now, after you have the prose that starts being generated in SudoWrite, now you can go into each one of these phrases, each one of these sentences, and you can click on it and press on rephrase. Or you can click on more detail and it'll give you tons of options on the right, and you can actually replace that with the suggestions on the right. It's so awesome. Like for example, if you have a story that has like a really cool, very important moment and you want it to be very paused and drawn out and dramatic, add more detail, right? And you can do that in the right side as you're like, okay, give me more detail, make it more dramatic, rephrase this. I want this phrase better, or I want this paragraph better. I want more detail to really understand this person, character, or moment. It's so awesome. Now guys, this isn't going to be easy, and I don't want to make it like it is easy, but it is way far easier than coming up with your own story. Like I said, I took my previous story that I have already written, I dusted it off, and I put it back into the ChatGPT and SudoWrite, and let me tell you, it is making my chapters just so awesome. It sounds just like a novel that I pulled off of the library shelf, and I'm reading it, and it sounds just like Louis L'Amour. I had my wife read the first 2 or 3 chapters of my book to me out loud, and I was intrigued by my story, which doesn't happen very often because I am not a good writer. But because of the help with the AI, it really made the chapter sound so good. And she was on the edge of her seat being like, wow, I want more of this story. So it really impressed me because I was like, wow, this is quite the opportunity to take something that I never thought was possible and then make it sound so good. Now, of course, you guys are thinking, well, this is a side hustle, right? It's not just a hobby. Yes, you're correct. So if you want to make a story, go to this site here. This is called Kindlepreneur, and it is a way to self-publish your book. You don't have to rely on publishers to take care of your publishing process. You can do it yourself. So anyways, I strongly encourage you to do that. It used to take years for authors to make books. Now it's drawn all the way back to weeks. You can make a rough draft of your book even in a single weekend, and voila, there you go. You can show it to your friends, and you can have their ideas about what to enhance, what to put more information into, what detail to draw out. And as you do that, you can easily go back into SudoWrite, make those modifications, and then publish it. I mean, it's so awesome, and it's so much easier than starting from scratch. Like I said, guys, I would love to make a video for you, step by step of making a book with you. Please drop a like and subscribe to my channel. I have so many more videos coming your way. So anyways, stay tuned, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.